Good morning, students. So in our last class, we complete up to question number 8 from the exercise 6.5, isn't it? So here, one more question we have to do, which one is question number 9. So as you see here, the question number 9 is given. What is the maximum value of the function sin x plus cos x? This one is very simple question here. We have to find out the maximum value of the function sin x plus cos x, isn't it? So in this question, the function is given sin x plus cos x. So that means here, first of all, what we have to do, if we consider the function. So that's why here we write here, first of all, you see, let fx. So here we write fx equals to, this one is we write here sin x plus cos x. So that means here the function is given fx equal to sin x plus cos x we consider. So now first step, what you have to do, we have to define set this one with respect to x. So that's why here, if we define set this one, therefore f dash of x, so therefore f dash of x equal to this one we write here ddx of sin x. So ddx of sin x, we know cos of x plus ddx of, sorry, this one is ddx of cos x. ddx of cos x is what? Minus of sin x. So that's why here we write minus of sin x. Is it clear? So now this one is the differentiation. After differentiating this one, we get here ddx of sin x, here it is cos x, and ddx of cos x means minus sin x, as noted. So that's why we write here f dash of x equal to cos x minus sin x. After that, what you have to do, now we have to write the next step, f dash of x. F dash of x equals to 0, we write here. So f dash of x, in place of f dash of x, now what we have to write? We have to write here cos x minus sin x. So that's why here, if we write this one is, so we write here cos x minus of sin x equals to 0. Cos x minus sin x equals to 0 we write. And if we rearrange this one we can write here sin x equals to cos of x. If you shift this sin x here, then cos x equal to sin x, or ultimately we can write here sin x equal to cos x. Now here sin x equal to cos x, that means if you cross multiply this cos x here, then this one we get here sin x, this one is sin x by, we write here cos of x, and if you cross multiply this one, so that's why in this side here remain 1, isn't it? So now here sin x by cos x means what? We know this one is tan x. So sin x by cos x means we write here tan x, and now here the right hand side is here 1. So when we get the value of tan is 1, so obviously tan pi by 4. That's why here we have to write this one is tan pi by 4. Now why we write here tan pi by 4? Because there is a general formula in between tan x and tan pi by 4. Is not it? In class 11 we get this one. So the general formula is this one. If you see here, if tan x equal to tan y, you see here, if tan x equals to tan y, then the general formula is what here? X equals to n pi plus of y, is not it? So if tan x equal to tan y, then the general formula is x equal to n pi plus of y. So this one we have to write here. So that means here n is what? N is an integer, is not it? So this one is the general formula. So this general formula, if we apply here, so x is same, so in place of y it is what? This one is pi by 4. So therefore if we write down the general formula here, then we have to write x equal to n pi plus of pi by 4. That means here y means pi by 4, where n belongs to z. So this one is the general form, and with the help of this general form we have to find out the critical points. So here n means integer, so that means if we put n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, so in this way the positive integer if we put, so here we get different types of critical points, as noted. So for example, if you put n equals to 0 here, you see if you put n equals to 0, that means this part is 0. If this part is 0, then here remain x equal to pi by 4. And the next one is if we put n equals to 1, so here pi plus pi by 4, that means if you calculate this one, then we get 5 pi by 4, is not it? So here n belongs to z, so here we consider only the positive integer. Why if we take here the negative integer, then what happens? If you see here, if we take n equal to -1, so here we get minus pi plus pi by 4, is not it? So that means here, if we calculate, then we get minus something, is not it? So in this case, here in this question, actually we have to find out the maximum value. So maximum value we have to find out. So that's why here in this case, we have to consider only the positive value. Later on, more in details, we know why we take here only the positive values. Is it clear? So here, if you see the general formula we get here x equals to, we get here n pi plus of y, where n belongs to z. So one by one, if we calculate the critical points here, so first one, if you put here, if n equals to 0, so if you put n equals to 0, so here in place of n, if we put 0, then obviously we get here, this one is x equal to, y means what here? Y means here we have to write this one is pi by 4. So now here, if we put n equals to 0, then here simply remain x equal to pi by 4. And in this way, if you find out the second one, if n equals to 1, if n equals to 1, if we put here, in place of n, if we put 1, so x equal to, here this one we write pi plus of this one is pi by 4. And if we calculate this one, here we get 5 pi by 4, in this way going on. So other critical points are no need to find out. Reason behind, you see here now. So now after finding the critical point, so in this we get lots of critical points, is not it? So first one is pi by 4, second one is 5 pi by 4. So now with the help of second derivative method, we have to find out this one. For that reason, what you have to do, we have to differentiate the function again. So now here, again differentiating. If you differentiate this one, again differentiating. So at first, when we differentiate the function is what? Fx equal to, at first given fx equal to sin x plus cos x. So when we differentiate this one, ddx of fx is ddx of here sin x means cos x, and ddx of cos x means minus sin x we get. So now here again we differentiate this, f double dash of x. We differentiate the function again. Here the function is what here? F dash of x equal to cos x minus sin x. So ddx of now cos x is what? We get here, this one is minus of sin x, and minus is there, and ddx of sin x means what? Here we write this one is cos of x. So f double dash of x equal to, we get this one is minus sin x minus cos x. So from here, if you take minus common, then what will remain here? This one is remain here sin x, and this one here remain, it is cos x. So f double dash of x is this one. So now here in this case, in this place, we have to put the critical points. So before we put the critical point, one thing you see here, the critical points are we get pi by 4 and 5 pi by 4 and many more critical points we get there. So in place of x, so here the maximum value we need. Remember, in this question, we have to find out the maximum value. So what is the condition of maximum value? First of all, if you see here, the maximum value condition is if f dash of x is less than 0, then we get maximum, is not it? And if f double dash of x is greater than 0, then we get minimum value. All of you know this one. So this one is the condition, all of you know. So now here we need maximum value. Maximum means what? We need this condition, the first one, the first condition we need. So that means the value of f double dash of x must be less than 0. That means negative value. If we need this value is negative value, so obviously this part, if you see this part must be positive. A part to ki hobo laibo? Obviously positive hobo laibo. A to positive hole hai agar negative to hoy play in negative hobo. Is not it? So this part must be a positive value. If this part is negative, then negative we get positive, that means we get minimum value. So which one is not required here? So that means the only the possibilities here, what we need the positive one. So that's why when we have to find out the critical point, that's why we consider from 0. Is it clear? That's 0, 1, 2, 3 in this way we consider. We ignore the negative integers. So here we need the positive value. So when sin x and cos x are positive, when both the results are positive, so obviously when the angle lies on which quadrant? So if you see here the angle, if you see the first quadrant, in this quadrant, first quadrant, in first quadrant we get all values are positive, so that means the sin x and cos x value are must be lies on first quadrant. So first quadrant means if you see here the first one is pi by 4, so pi by 4 means 45, this one is lies on first quadrant, but the second one 5 pi by 4, this 5 pi by 4 not lies on first quadrant, this one is 225 I think. So that's why here only the possible angle is which one, pi by 4, isn't it? So that's why without doing anything we can directly verify for here pi by 4. All of you understood this one? So we buji paisa noy why we consider pi by 4, because the sin x and cos x value must be required here a positive one. So that's why a duta value positive hobole hole angle to kot lies koribo laibo, first quadrant lies koribo laibo. The first quadrant lies koribole hole only the possible value is what, pi by 4. So he karone yat x er jagat ami okol ki put koribo parim, pi by 4 put koribo parim, titia he yar value to negative hobo aru negative hole he ki hobo, maximum hobo. Is it clear? So now we have to verify this one. So what we have to write here? We write here put x equals to pi by 4. Now let's check out here if we verify this one, x equal to pi by 4. If we verify this f double dash of, now here you see f double dash of, in place of x we have to write pi by 4, and here minus this one we have to write sin pi by 4, and plus of this one is cos pi by 4. You see here, so sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4, here this one is both are 1 by root 2 plus this one we write here 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 minus this one we write 2 root 2, or this one is minus root 2. Which one is less than 0? This one is not the value, this one is just a verification here. Here the value is negative, so that means in this case what we get here? We get maximum value. So here at which point we have to find out the maximum value? At x equal to pi by 4 we have to find out we get the maximum value. Is it clear? And this x equal to pi by 4 where we have to put? We have to put on the given function, and the function is what? Sin x plus cos x. In place of x we have to put pi by 4. Is it clear? A x or value to nibole ami kot put koribo laibo, fx equal to sin x plus cos x jitu given function di ase ami tak put koribo laibo, aru put kori dile x equal to pi by 4 put korile sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4 pai jam, aru duita calculate korile ultimately answer to ahibo root 2. So that means the maximum value of fx equal to sin x plus cos x is how much? Root 2. Understood? Is it clear? So baki khini tumalke yat calculate kori answer to uliai diba. Hobo? Thik ase. Thank you.